What's going on, everybody? Thanks for checking out the channel. That footage you just saw was shot on our new C80, and I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about our experience with it so far. So let's just get right into it. So first, one thing I really love about the C80 is its build quality. It feels really great when you're using it. Really nice, has enough weight to it where you know it feels like you're using a cinema rig, but not too much where for a smaller shoot, kind of like what we were doing with that footage, that it feels like too much. So I really like it when it comes to the size factor of it. And when you pair it up with a lens like this 24-105, it definitely ups the size of it a little bit, you know, ups the length, but it still is a really nice compact form factor for you. So this is the exact rig that I used when it came to that shoot and what I've been using lately when we do break this guy out for our client shoots. The battery life was really great. This is the 60 battery, worked out just fine, lasted us plenty of time, pretty much all afternoon into the early evening when the sun was going down, like at the end of those shots there. But it was perfect. No issues with battery life. That was great as always, just like the C70. And getting into the picture quality, it's a beautiful image. It's very sharp, very crisp, looks really good and clean. One thing I did notice was with the triple base ISO, that was awesome and extremely useful, but it's not perfect, right? So you're not gonna get an 800 ISO look when you're using 12,800 ISO. It's just not gonna be that clean, but it will be significantly cleaner than, say, if you were gonna use the C70, 32, 4000, anything like that. It's gonna be significantly cleaner than that. You will need to use a little bit of some noise reduction when it comes to those higher ISOs. The 32, I think you'll be fine, but when it comes to that 12,800, it's definitely gonna need to be cleaned up a little bit. I don't particularly mind the noise very much. A lot of our work is seen on smaller devices, up to tablets and computers. But if you're working with things where it's gonna be seen on larger screens, TVs, or even putting into film festivals or anything like that, where it's gonna be viewed on a large, you know, format, then I would definitely recommend to clean that up with some noise reduction. Overall, really great shooting experience so far. Another interesting thing though, I wish I didn't get any footage of the screen doing this, but let me know if you guys have experienced this, any of you other C80 users. When we were shooting out there, it was really cold. It was, you know, 20, 30 something degrees, and especially when it was getting darker. So as it was getting colder and we were out there longer, the screen, I noticed, started to almost drop frames, like almost looked like the frame rate was going down. And I checked it and it all looked really good, and of course the footage later on looked totally fine. But when I was looking at the screen, the LCD, I was really confused because it looked almost blurry, like maybe the cold was slowing it down a little bit. So that was really interesting to see, because I've never experienced that before with any of my other cameras. So that was quite strange. But yeah, let me know if you guys have ever seen something like that. Would love to hear if that's just something that happens or if it's a brand new thing with this new line. We've used this on a couple of other shoots and it's been really great so far. It's an awesome setup. I've just been using the standard setup with just the handle that comes with it, but I did order the small rig cage now for it, so I can mount a monitor on here finally with the microphone, and I'm excited to see how that feels. I used to run the C70 with just a big setup, and it had the V-mount on the back and the monitor, the mic, all this stuff. But with this one, I wanted to go a little more compact. But one of the gripes with me about this over, say, a C400 or something like that, is you can't mount a monitor on this particular handle while you have the mic mounted on as well. I think that was a little interesting design, but the camera overall is amazing. I really like the SD card slots. I know a lot of people have kind of a little bit of a gripe with that, but I think it's great. I just use the Angel Bird cards. If you guys haven't seen the other video that I've done with the C80, the unboxing video, take a look at that. I'll link it right here. But this has been overall really awesome. So far, I'm looking forward to keep shooting. I shoot with this and primarily the R5 Mark II, which I have really been loving as well. Both of these cameras pair up together perfectly. Really sharp, really clean, especially if you're doing like client work, product work, it's gonna be great. But we also do weddings, and so in order to give it a little more of a creative feel, even on here, I use a CPL filter on here to give it that nice little extra something, as well as to protect, you know, from the glares, from windows and things like that, and get the reflections where I want them. And with the R5 II, I of course use a variable ND because it doesn't have the built-in NDs like this camera. And I really like the look that I get with those because it gives it almost a slightly less clean look, but a very nice creative taste on there. And with this video, I also have a mist filter on there. I think it's 1/4. So you can do that. I mean, it's just amazing how nice these images can come out once you get a little bit creative with it or throw just that extra little something. And I'm just excited to keep using these. We've been working on some little short films, and I have another video that I'm gonna be coming out with really soon that I'm excited about using the R5 II and the C80. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be really cool. If you guys have done any work with the C80, R5 II, short films, product, anything like that, I'd love to see it. Link it down below. Love to get in touch with you guys, possibly collaborate. So let me know. Thanks for watching, and talk to you guys soon.